Waco always gives us a crazy finish.
Ann and Burr, huh? Tie ball game, boy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh my. There it is, folks. That's game over.
After a thrilling start to the 2025 Disc Golf Pro Tour season in Florida at the Supreme Flight Open, the Texas Swing starts this weekend in Waco, Texas. We are at the Beast for Prodigy presents the Waco Annual Charity Open. It's going to be a windy weekend in Waco as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Alongside Juliana Corver, I am Charlie Eisenhood. So happy to be here with you. And Waco, it's kind of an old school course on new school tour. Let's just start with that. What is the setup for Waco when you think about how it fits into today's tour?
So it is a throwback to the courses that we used to play 20 years ago. You know, it's only 7,700 feet, which by pedestrian standards is still a decent distance, but by DGPT standards, it's pretty small. And it's half wooded, it's half open, so it tests multiple aspects of one's game.
It'll be a big test for the biggest story in FPO this weekend, and that is the start of the season for Kristin Latt. She is making her season debut here in Texas, just made the flight over from Estonia a couple of days ago. Kristin coming off a 6-win 2024 season, a fantastic start. Once again, you know, maybe not quite to the highs of her 2023, but a great year overall, and she gets ready to go here in 2025 as we send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Nate Perkins, checking in about Kristin's start to her season.
Yeah, I've got my anemometer down here, Charlie, and we'll get to that wind reading in just a moment. I had a chance to speak with Kristin Latt, and I felt like the overall sentiment that she was expressing was a sense of gratitude for being back over here in the States, competing once again on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. As we saw, she had a little some troubles with her passport situation and getting over here, but that was all cleared up. And she expressed that, you know, how good it feels to have that behind her. I also asked her about the swing. I noticed a little change in the swing, and she was actually a little surprised about the question. She said there was nothing intentional. Most of her work this offseason revolved around training her body, and that when she went back to the course, this is the swing that has risen. And so we're gonna get right into the action today, guys, because regardless of what work you did this off season, you're here in Waco and you're gonna have to throw in gusts of 25 to 32 miles per hour today. Here are the first 3 holes. It's that ripping head crosswind from right to left, and honestly, the scoring's all gonna be happening in the woods today because it's a windy day here in Texas. Back to you guys in the booth, Charlie. Happy to be a part of the broadcast.
Oh, it's great to be with you once again, Nate, as we take a look at Arcana current conditions. This will be the windiest day out here this weekend, but we will expect wind throughout. When you have that headwind on one, what does that tell you as a player?
It tells you that the finish is going to be hard because hole 18, hole 17 are both going to play into the wind as well.
Well, we are getting ready for our second feature card, getting set to start very soon. Wind only expected to get a little bit higher throughout the day, so we will certainly be keeping an eye on that. And Nate's got the actual facts on the ground for the specific wind that we've got out here. Owen Scoggins, Evelina Salonen, Ella Hansen, Chantel Budinsky, our second feature card, getting ready to tee off here at Waco, round number 1.
Suspend the reality of what a disc can be and discover ultra soft plastic. With its extreme flexibility and tackiness, Ultra Soft had the best grip and flex of any plastic Prodigy has ever made. Take on cold or wet weather with confidence behind every shot. We are excited to add 300 Ultra Soft to the lineup, which joins 400 and 500 Ultra Soft. Check out the entire collection today on ProdigyDisc.com or your local retailer.
Success is not linear. It takes time and it takes belief. A belief that there is no ceiling and that the bar can always rise higher. A belief that if you set your sights to the horizon, the future will meet you there. That no matter who you are or what you've done, there's always something to prove. Disc golf was built on the backs of people who dream. And out here, what started as a dream is now a decade-long catalyst that turns dreams to moments. In our 10th season, we invite you to join us as we celebrate this beautiful game and all the moments that make it great. Catch all the action, all season long, live on the Disc Golf Network.
The number one reason I switched from bag to cart is pretty simple. Takes weight off of my back, easier to play a course.
I realized that the cart became something I really needed when little things would happen. I'd pick up my bag and my elbow would hurt.
Using a cart decreases the bending over, the weight on my lower back. Decide to go with Suka, and seeing that my side glove is gone and I don't need to worry. Only one thing I have to worry about to get birdie, because my Suka done it all for me.
Disc Wrap built for
The Waco Annual Charity Open is presented by Prodigy. Find your flight. Well, we are live today on JomezPro YouTube channel. Don't worry, everybody. You'll still have your post-production this weekend. But if you want to watch every event live on the Disc Golf Network, you can sign up for a DGN membership. You can lock in pricing right now for the year and save 3 months versus a monthly price with code SAVE3months. Get yourself an annual subscription and watch all the events from this amazing season. We've got our first ever European World Championship and a whole lot more. Deep discounts as well, GA members. Save money today. Just scan the QR code and check out everything this season on DGN with a subscription. So a windy morning here in Waco. Flying in to the tee of hole number 1 as we get set for our second feature card, teeing off right now.
It's time for our 10-10 tee. First on the box, put your hands together for Own
Oh, no.
Scoggins.
Hey, I'm not ready. The wind's down, hurry.
Own, second place finish here last year at Waco. Goes out of bounds in that headwind.
A little surprised that she threw a headwind there. The forehand's a nice option.
What a 2024 season it was for Evelina. First World Championship win. Best season of her career.
Next on the tee, put your hands together for Chantel Budinsky.
Chantel also coming off of her best season as a pro. Finished top 10 at the Throw Pink last year.
Keeping that nice and low underneath the wind.
Rounding out our card, put your hands together for Ella Hansen.
Ella Hansen, just 2 weeks removed from her second Pro Tour win at the Supreme Flight Open, winning in a three-way playoff, trying to go back-to-back here at Waco.
Keeping that too low. That is out of bounds.
Tough start for the players here, throwing into this headwind on hole number 1. I mean, this is an intimidating tee shot no matter what, but when the wind is in your face, it's got to be something scary. Let's check in with Henna Blomroos on hole number 9. She is your current leader at 3 under par, coming off a birdie on hole 8.
A little bit pinched off behind the foliage there, but she's almost down to the corner. A birdie is still in play for her. So Ella has to take it back. This is the tee side of that opening. Has to throw through the opening once again. A little short, nice line. One thing that is notable on this course, everywhere that we have these ad walls, the OB line is typically at least a meter from the ad wall, but by the basket here, where the land slopes pretty drastically down to the right ad wall, the OB line is on that ad wall. So if you hit the ad and stay right by it instead of jumping over the top of it, you're safe.
Yeah, that OB line has moved over the years. They had it pulled off the wall one year and it was wrecking people. So they moved it back to that fence line. I want to go back down to Nate Perkins. I mean, obviously we can see it's windy. Just how scary is that tee shot right now, Nate?
Yeah, it's the perfect wind direction to kind of make players rethink that hyzer. And I think that this up the gut shot has been opened up a little bit this year. But you can see even Ella, she had 2 discs in her hand and she decided to go with the forehand because she watched Own's disc get picked up and pushed OB. So there's just so much to think about right now. And in the lulls, it's like 10 to 15, but when it's gusting, it's well over 30 miles per hour.
We saw the unfortunate miss there for Chantel. Disc flipping over a little bit and into the OB. Owen Scoggins not going to run it into this dangerous putt towards the out of bounds. Ella for bogey. Salonen splashing out for her par. Badinsky for bogey. And she splashes out. My goodness, hole 1 dealing the damage here to our feature card.
I think Chantel's miss was aided by the wind there.
Hansen for the double bogey. Narrowly sneaks it in. So tough start for our second feature card. But all eyes this morning on Kristin Latt. She starts her 2025 season here at Waco. She's looked good in the practice rounds. Can she keep it going in the wind here this morning? We'll find out next.
Bomb Discs is Kentucky's disc golf headquarters. If you're ever in town, you gotta come check us out. But until then, you can find us online at bombdisc.com.
Some of my favorite discs in my bag are the A-Series discs. They're the ones I lean on to get close to the basket, and each of them have a consistent grip. So as you cycle through the series, you won't have to change the way that you hold the disc. These are torque-resistant discs that are more stable than the PA series, provide a consistent fade at the end of the flight. The best way to find your flight is to get out and use these discs yourself.
If you want to know what a disc is going to feel like before you get it, you have to check out OTB disc. The first thing I'm looking for when I grab a new disc is the feel of the disc. It's got to be confidence instilled. Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
It's really, really helpful in not only finding a disc that looks beautiful, but is also exactly what you're looking for it to feel like. Of course, when you're dealing with OTB, you're going to get only the best.
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TriMet Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TriMetGroup.com.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Well, you're watching on JomezPro right now. You can go check out the practice rounds live and in person. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite for Disc Golf Pro Tour events coming up. Open at Austin, Music City Open, Kansas City Wide Open. Next 3 events on tour. So make sure you go hang out with Big Sexy Barry or the 2 Hot Geese in person. So check it out on the Eventbrite website for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Check back in with Henna Blomroos throwing her 3rd shot on the par 5 ninth.
about 150 feet from the... No, where her disc landed, she should have a look at the basket. It does kind of drop off a little bit, so it might be an uphill putt.
Back to hole 2. Hansen second. Well outside circle 1. Kristin Latt about 10 minutes away from beginning her 2025 season. She's won here at Waco back-to-back years. Year before that, finished second. So she has been excellent. And do you worry about rust for her? I mean, that's always a conversation for her starting at the second event of the year.
You know, I don't know why we always bring it up with Kristin, but we rarely bring it up with anybody at the very first event. And no, I don't worry about it at all. I mean, she had a perfect record last year of finishing the top 10 in every event that she played in. She averaged second over all events. She has just dominated, and I see no reason to think that that's not going to continue.
And you can see here just how great she's been at Waco. These are the scores over the last 8 rounds here at Brazos Park East, aka the Beast. Last year they played 4 rounds at Waco, 2 here at the Beast and 2 at Lake Waco, but they're back to the 3-round event this year. And Kristin can three-peat. If she wins this weekend, she would make her only the second player ever to do it on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. She would join, unsurprisingly, Paige Pierce, who's done it 3 times. Scoggins finds a late tree. She'll have a tester putt from the edge of the circle. Blomroos. She's got a putt for birdie from 18 feet to give her the solo lead. She's got it. So 5th birdie of the round for Blomroos. It's been a solid day on the putting green as well. Just 1 miss inside circle 1.
Tennis weight transfer on the putt seems much better this year.
No super hot rounds going so far, but lots of players under par. Hansen's 3rd. Oh, the wind, even at the very end there, pushing that disc towards OB. She is safe, and she'll have a 20-footer to save par.
This basket is very exposed to the wind.
Long birdie look for Badinsky.
A little cautious with the wind. Can't blame her for that.
Evelina Salonen also laying up. So it'll be par looks for everyone on this second feature card. Decent effort from Hansen, but can't keep it in the air long enough, and she will take a bogey to drop to 3 over on her round through just 2 holes. Scoggins in for par. Let's check in with our leader.
Beautiful, straight, powerful shot.
Well, here we go. Kristin Latt begins her season in just a moment. She is teeing off after this break. We'll be right back on the Disc Golf Network. Feature card coming up.
Hey, aren't you Anthony Barella?
Yes, sir. Try out this Venom.
Thanks, man.
Ooh, Calvin, looking good today.
Calvin Heimberg.
Sorry. Hey. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Hello. Hey. Thank you. A Naqua. I'm looking for a Naqua. Do you have one?
Hey, Germ, you can't cut in line.
My apologies. You may have noticed I just cut you in line. I'm just looking for a Naqua.
A Naqua? Here, use mine.
Got it. Thanks.
Hey, hurry up, man. You're taking forever.
Sorry, man. No 30-second rule here. What about that 100% off player discount?
You know what I've realized? There is only a present moment. It's best to have no expectations. You can still have high standards, but go on the course without any expectations. Just accept what comes to you and give your 100%. The rest is out of your hands. It's about just enjoying life and accepting what is given to you, and whatever is meant to happen with me will happen, and what I want wants me even more, so I just have to be open to receive it. So that's something that I live by.
Kristin Latt coming off of a 6-win 2024. She got married last summer, in case you were wondering about the name change. And what a amazing run of disc golf it's been from the world number one. Sweeping the majors in 2023. She wins the European Open. And 40% of the events that she entered in the Pro Tour and in the majors last year. An astonishing win rate, and shows no signs of slowing down, Juliana.
Not at all. Not only does she have an amazing skill set, but she probably has the best mental fortitude in the division.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy. It's time for our FPO feature card. First on the tee, put your hands together for Kristin Latt.
Just outside of the circle, keeping it nice and safe, low under the
Put your
wind.
hands together for Anakin Steen.
Anakin Sten will have fond memories from being here in Texas. She won the Texas State last year, out-dueling Kristin, her first Pro Tour win. Finished 10th in the Pro Tour standings a year ago.
It's a safe play. It's in the middle of the fairway.
Next on the tee, put your hands together for Deanne Carey.
Deanne Carey from Shelby, North Carolina. Finished 5th here at Waco in 2023. And a nice backboard shot.
Rounding out our feature card, put your hands together for Emily Weatherman.
Emily Weatherman from Abilene. Finished 35th last year in her only appearance at Waco. She does not get the bounce off the ad wall, so out of bounds for
Good
Weatherman.
luck, ladies, have a great round.
Kona Montgomery has birdied 3 holes in a row. Check in with her on hole 10, throwing her second shot on the par 4, and she bases it. And take a look at where Blommers's drive landed. Just a chip up.
Nice floating nose up approach. Really like that shot.
You can see how different the wind plays in the woods. Such a unique element of this course, going into the woods and then back out with the wind going the opposite direction from how you started.
And you're in the woods long enough that you forget just how drastic the wind is blowing by the time you get back out into it.
Nate Perkins, you've had a lot of experience playing here at Waco, and you've been in a playoff here. What is it like dealing with that wind shift mid-round?
Oh, I think it really separates this course, you know, from other 7,000 feet course out there. It really does mess with the mental aspect of the game. You can't feel the wind for 9 holes of this course. And then the thing is, you start in a completely different direction than you finish. So I think that just adds so much that you have to think about, you know, as you walk out of the woods that you're about to face some really tough conditions. And I think today, with the wind being out of the south, they have tail for that section when they walk out of the woods, but then head on 17 and 18. So a lot to look forward to today.
Latt for birdie. Just a touch low. Third shot here for Weatherman after going out of bounds.
Misses a little right, had the height. Now remember, the basket is up above them just a little bit, so this is playing much farther than this right here is circle's edge, but it's playing more like a 40-foot putt because of the elevation of the basket.
Carey for birdie. Good speed and height, but missed it left.
Hole 1 gave up only 5 birdies today.
Ouch.
This basket used to be pretty scary to putt on because any kind of rollaways would potentially be on the right-hand side. But now with that wall being on the line, people should be able to go for this with a little bit more freedom.
Weatherman takes a bogey. Sten is going to take a bogey as well. Kristin taps in for par, and that's how her 2025 gets started. We go to the 10th. Missy Gannon putting for her 4th straight birdie. You bet. So the scoring started to heat up in the woods, and Missy is up into 3rd place. Blomroos taps it in for birdie. She is your solo leader at 5 under. And Kona, 4 straight birdies. Good vibes on that card right now. Take a look at the leaderboard. Jessica Weiss, 4 down through 8.
Seen a little bit of trouble on the first 2 feature cards, so it's nice to see all of these under par scores after they get into the woods bit.
This is one of the shortest courses that the pros will play all season. Latt.
Big skip. That's a very good place to be. Also very nice. This fairway's pretty generously wide. It really doesn't matter as long as you get a good forward progress where in the fairway you end up. Wherever you are, you're going to have to find a line around these big mature trees on your way to the basket.
Weatherman on that left side as well. Let's go to 11.
Another tunnel shot, just under 300 feet, basket on a little bit of a ridge, protected by some trees. Faded off a little left. Probably going to be hard to birdie from there.
I'm going to go back down to Nate Perkins. Nate, is the wind moderating at all? Is it blowing harder? Obviously, this is a very gettable hole number 2, but when the wind is up, we saw with our second feature card how tricky it can be.
Yeah, it's not very consistent, Charlie. I would say consistently 10 to 15, but the gusts are really what make it difficult. And we saw that chase card play on the green of 2 just in a 25, 30 mile per hour gust. And it's directly out of the south at the moment, so it's coming right up the Brazos River, and it kind of bounces off the bluff across the river, and it makes this approach on 2 really important.
Carey up first.
She's just over 200 from the pin.
Gonna be outside the circle after clipping the tree.
turned that over into the wind, but luckily it came down before finding the OB on the right-hand side.
To the fourth, Hansen trying to save a par. No. Very slow start for Hansen, coming off of her win at the Supreme Flight Open.
Just a layup for Henna.
Sten's forehand low and into the out of bounds. Couple misfires on upshots for Sten. Over to the 11th once again. Missy Gannon, a little too deep with her upshot, so this for par from the woods, just inside the circle.
Not going for that. There's pretty drastic drop off behind the basket from the angle that she had there.
Kristin much closer and able to put it inside 10 feet. Here's Kona for par. And she knocks it down. So after a couple of early bogeys, scorecard looking good for Montgomery.
Kona has good memories at this course. This is the location of her only DGPT win.
Back in 2021. Won this event by 12 strokes. It was an incredible weekend as Blomroos taps in the par. Nice to take a little swim. It is warm out there this weekend. Going to get up to around 80 degrees today. A couple names up there we don't often see. Alexis Kerman, Cadence Burge tied for third. Seems like the wooded holes are going to be the deciders today for who can put some birdies on the board. Sten, after going OB, can't connect and has some work left. Weatherman gave it a run. She was 10th in Circle 2 putting last season on tour. Got that nice spinny approach. Well, it's been a very slow start for our feature cards. There has yet to be a birdie. But Kristin is putting for a birdie here inside of 15 feet.
We did expect these first couple holes to play very hard in the wind.
And keep in mind, it means that 17 and 18 will be similarly difficult playing into the headwinds. Weatherman saves the par. Another bogey for Sten. She drops to 2 over. And for our first feature card birdie, Latt. No. Very low.
That was directly into a headwind, so you do want to keep it low, but still would have expected that she would have gotten that over the rim.
Carey saves the par. Kristin in for par. So the struggles continue. Let's go back to the woods where the birdies are flowing. Here's Montgomery teeing off on 12.
12 is a doozy. This is a par 5, 609 feet. That is a great shot.
To the 5th. Hansen, as we start to go into the woods, needs to start to pick it up.
It's a good line. If she can skip up to the top of that, she's in the circle.
Perfect shot there from Hansen. Blomroos on 12.
Did not get by the protecting trees. Hopefully she stayed in the open. It can be very punishing if you end up in the rough. Late turn, good shot, very good shot. She's still in the fairway, and the farther left you are, the better angle you have, because it continues to turn out round to the right, and you've got a little bit straighter line at it. Pin high, but maybe 40 feet right and down that hill, so it's going to be a tough putt, especially with the elevated basket.
Outside the circle for Carey. 320-foot par 3, but certainly playing longer than that with the headwind.
That's getting a little closer. Had a nice skip up towards the basket. Headwind not allowing that to fade back to the basket.
So long putts coming up for the entire first feature card. Back to 12, Blomroos. Second shot now for Gannon.
Fairway curves a little to the right as it goes uphill and then cuts back left. That's great. She should be able to get close to the basket from there.
So much improved with her forehand. It's a shot she really didn't have a couple years ago. Montgomery.
Very nice shot.
Short approach for Sten.
Wow. Forced to flex a sidearm up there, and she manages to find the fairway nicely.
Back to the third, Latt for birdie. Yes, that is a great putt from Kristin. Making up for the miss on the second, and the first birdie for our feature cards. Roll it back on the Zuka replay.
That was not an easy putt. She is 4 or 5 feet down that hill, and the basket's already raised, so it took a lot of strength A lot of lower body to get the putt to the basket.
Weatherman just hasn't quite been able to dial in the straightness on those putts right now. Just missing a little right and left here early. Good height, good speed. Going to be Weatherman's second bogey. Sten in for par. Carey gets her par. No player on the course has gone more than 1 under through the first 3 holes. Back to the 12th, third shot for Missy.
Nice kick in the circle. The basket is about 70 feet behind that leaning tree.
Kona opts for the backhand. Trying to get her 5th birdie in the last 6 holes.
Trying to just nose up flex to the left side of that leaning tree, but squares it up instead. Excellent approach by Hannah.
She's parked again, so Hannah in a good position to get to 6 under par, extend her lead to 2 shots over Jessica Weiss. Time to take a look at hole number 4. It's our Zenny flyover here.
Players finally get some relief from the wind with this first of many wooded tunnel shots. The ideal shot goes straight off the tee and obviously miss this middle tree. You need to fade left before the rough, which is about 150, 200 feet off the tee. You want to fade left here, and there's a little bit of a berm on the left. If you're low and you skip around this corner, you can get a reverse roll back into the fairway, which is really nice. Then you have to throw something slow that fades a little bit off to the right, turning off to the right. The basket is positioned right on top of this mound, right behind it. It's a good 10-foot drop-off to the Brazos River, so do not overthrow this approach.
That whole flyover and breakdown from JK is presented by Zenny, eyewear for everyone. Latt hits an early tree.
Could have been worse. She rolled out to the side where she's going to be able to see around that corner. She should, it probably takes a birdie out of play, but she should still be able to par. It's a good shot. It's not a great shot, but it's a very good shot. Just keeping it right in the middle, not worrying about too much distance. Oh, that was close. Needed a little bit more forward progress before it faded out. Well, it's a little too long. That's going to be tricky. You know, we've talked about how hard it is to play from the woods and then come back out into the open where it's windy, but we've never talked about how it's actually hard to go from windy shots into the woods where now there is no wind, and you need to just sort of reset and throw just a little bit differently.
Evelina teeing off on 7. And Juliana, if you're in this situation, are you throwing entirely different discs once you get into the woods, changing stabilities?
Well, I would throw different discs in the woods regardless of the wind
Sure.
on a course like this. So yes, I throw extraordinarily understable discs with a hyzer flip up into the woods, though most of the women out there have the option to go with a sidearm, so then they may be throwing slightly more overstable discs. Get a par.
Carey just going to be forced to lay up, settle for a par.
This is a tight line, but she has an opportunity to close to the pin here if she pures this. Well, that was a lucky kick back out to the fairway.
Back to the 12th. Gannon for birdie. And she is in, so 5th birdie in the last 6 for Missy Gannon. It's going to put her in solo 3rd. To the 7th.
Basket just on the opposite side of the ravine. Evelina just getting caught up on the right-hand side.
Tap in birdie for Henna Blomroos, who finished 1st on tour in Circle 1 in regulation last year. Has been a bit of a slog for this first feature card. Just 1 birdie and, oh my, into the water for Latt. And do you think that's a wind adjustment issue?
No. I was a little. We usually see Kristin throwing sidearms for approaches, and she's usually right on the mark. But because of the lay of the land, I just think a backhand was a much better choice there.
Take that skip out of play, basically. Here's Ella Hansen. Upshot on hole 7. Coming off 2 straight birdies on 5 and 6. And she'll be looking at another one.
That's quite close. Very nice approach for Anniken.
Nate, what's Kristin going to be looking at coming back up the hill out of the water there?
Yeah, it's probably just outside the circle, but the difficult part of it is the weird footing, and she's going to have to putt up and over this little fence post in front of her.
Poor upshot there from Carey, and she's still well outside the circle.
Good effort. Carey playing with a new bag this year. New Prodigy sponsor, player.
Kind of feels like somebody needs to make a big putt or a big shot to kind of get the engine started for this feature card.
Well, Kristin had a good shot, a really good putt on the previous hole.
That's true. Has not carried through here to the fourth. Brazos River in the background. Juliana, we were talking before the show about how you'd played Waco here way back, 20 years ago, and you mentioned that this isn't the course that Waco used to be played on.
No, we were on the other side of the river. It has a similar feel through, the topography and the trees are very similar, so you still have the open holes and the wooded holes, but completely different course.
So I'm going to start from the
On the bright side, it doesn't look like she's going to lose that disc. As we can see a blue disc in the water, I assume that is hers.
Difficult putt here.
You can really see just how much elevation she's going to have to contend with. Wow.
And she sticks it. Kristin with back-to-back huge putts. What a save there from Latt. Let's take another look at this one. Up the hill, tough stance.
It takes so much power to keep that disc on line going up. And, we don't practice putts at that drastic of an angle, so very well done. But because of the out-of-bounds stroke, that was a penalty, that was a bogey.
Bogey for Weatherman as well. Carey also taking the bogey. It's only Sten that escapes with the par from the fourth.
Kona sneaking by the trees, very good shot off to the left.
To the seventh, Evelina putting uphill. And she's got it. Back-to-back birdies for Evelina. And Salonen now under par. Check in with her best friend, Blomroos. Fine spot for Henna. Ella Hansen trying to go for her third straight birdie. And it's an easy tap in, so starting to undo some of the damage from earlier in this round, fighting back towards even par. Second shot for Kona on 13. So inside the circle for both Henna and Kona, playing well.
Perfect shot.
So there we go for Sten. And we're going to take a look at this one-shot replay. This is how you imagine this shot going when you stand on the tee. Off the base. If you use code DGPT, you can save 25% off your order at oneshotenergy.com and explore a wide range of energy chews, focus chews, and voice drops.
There's another great shot there. Kristin hitting that last upward slope and skipping to the top, so she's inside of circle 1.
Inside the circle for Carey as well. This is really a start of a stretch of the course that is just playing much easier than those first 4 holes. Just around 10% of the field getting birdies on holes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then jumping up into around 30% on these next 5.
This is hole 8. This is the smallest hole on the course, 213 feet.
This has been a difficult putting range for Henna. And a miss from circle 1. Had a chance to open up the lead a little bit further, but now we'll have a par comebacker. Weatherman not able to find the range from circle 2. Get outside 25 feet. And Carey on the board with a birdie. She's back to even par. Where scores are at, even through 5 feels just fine. Latt. Another birdie. She's back under par at 1 down. And Sten gets her first birdie of the round. So only Weatherman having to settle for par. And they head to the 6th. We go to the 8th. Hansen for another birdie. Pushes it right. Back to 13. Montgomery in for birdie. So she gets to 3 under par. She's tied for 3rd. What a story it would be if we saw Kona make another run here at Waco. All that she's been through the last couple years. Scoggins in for birdie. Great putt. Blumers for par. Pushes it low, maybe thinking about the headwind.
You could see her body just tense up right before she released there.
She was the worst putter on tour last year and had a lot of 3 and 4 putts. And her first 3 putt here today. She's been throwing it great though. Jessica Weiss takes over at the top of the leaderboard, 5 down through 11. Inside the circle for Sten.
This is a little blind, slightly turning left to right. It also goes downhill as you get right around circle 1.
It's a great looking shot from Kristin. And she puts it inside 10 feet.
Just outside the circle for Deanne. Had a nice turn. I think it was a little bit short.
To the 14th. Blumroos. Off the 3-putt bogey.
Blummer's strong enough to throw a mid-range this distance. Inside the circle, pin high.
Another great drive from Blumroos. Weatherman. Solid bid. Not there for Carey. Back-to-back birdies for Anniken Sten. She's back to even par. So the pace picking up a bit here. Juliana, you were just in Waco. How was it? Did you enjoy the Texas festivities? I know this is a widely liked player RV area that they have here at Waco.
Yeah, a lot of the courses are starting to accommodate the players that are traveling in RVs and vans and allow them to on the premises, and Waco is one of those places. So it is a different feel, especially right around the whole 16, 17, 18 area. That's where everybody's parked.
Kristin in for the birdie, so she's tied for 7th at 2 down. Henna unable to convert on the birdie putt from just outside the bullseye. So missed opportunity again for Henna. Jessica Weiss out in front. She's got a 1-shot lead. We'll be right back.
Bend the reality of what a disc can be and discover ultra soft plastic. Ultra soft has the best grip and flex of any plastic Prodigy has ever made. Check out the entire collection today on ProdigyDisc.com or your local retailer.
Hey everyone, Gannon Burr here, and I want to invite you to compete in the Power Disc Golf Academy Championship Series. This is the only professional amateur nationwide disc golf series, and everyone is welcome to compete. Qualifier events will be held in cities across North America. If you place high enough at a qualifier event, you'll earn the invitation to compete in our championship event at Eagles Crossing Disc Golf Course. Scan this QR code for dates and locations of the qualifying events. We hope to see you there.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Go, Gotta Throw your Disc Golf warehouse with a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, and more. Everything you need for the game you love. Online or at our Minnesota store. GottaGoGottaThrow.com, your disc golf warehouse.
Hey, did you find everything all right today? Really?
Shopping online should be easy. That's why we built the best experience possible. Easy navigation, powerful filters, and lightning fast shipping, all at the best prices. 1010 Discs, reimagining excellence.
You're watching right now on the JomezPro YouTube channel. Glad to have you with us. It's a great time to sign up for a DGN subscription. You can lock it in right now and save 3 months with an annual subscription versus monthly pricing with code SAVE3months. So scan that QR code or go to discgolfnetwork.com and lock in your annual subscription today. It's going to be a great season of disc golf. Juliana, what event are you most looking forward to this year?
Other than China.
Oh, World Games is going to be a blast.
I'm really looking forward to the Worlds being in Europe this year.
Yeah, what an exciting European swing it will be here in 2025. I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to see attendance records in Finland for the World Championships.
And for the events leading up to it, I believe.
Oh, yeah. European Disc Golf Festival coming in as a major this year.
Excellent drive, way out the gap. Anything in the open out there gives a player an opportunity to get under the basket in two. That's good enough.
Montgomery tied for fourth. Teeing off on 15. And just slides into the out of bounds. 15 has some new OB. We'll talk about that more a bit later. Sten dealing with some branches in her backswing.
It's going to be hard to approach from there. It's pretty thick. Right in the middle of the fairway. Excellent control.
One of the signature holes here at the Beast. 7th. Carey will have an uphill putt. Looking for a birdie.
They did some work on the stairs in this little valley on both the down and the up by the basket. And in doing so, there's a lot of loose dirt and sand around the basket, so there's really no chance to skip past this basket anymore.
7 is playing as the third easiest hole on the course. 38% of players so far taking a birdie. Big drive from Latt, and she's able to put it on the stairs. So starting to get some momentum going. Kristin. Big change here on 15. That fenced off area now out of bounds. And it looked like Kona narrowly getting over the top of that electrical box. So I want to go back down to the ground. Nate, we're kind of slightly out of the woods here on 7. Are you feeling the wind at all here, or is it still a non-factor?
You definitely can't feel it on the tee. Out in the fairway, it's still relatively blocked. It's only once you get up to the basket that you can start to feel it kind of peek in through the road. If you're at the bottom of this little gully right here putting up, you're putting straight into a headwind. It's a really tricky look.
Honikin up to the plateau. Nate, we also heard something about maybe a little rattlesnake out there. What's been going on? Hopefully nobody's stepped on anything questionable.
Yeah, I don't want to step on that. So Joey Tamale messaged Disc Golf Pro Tour operations and mentioned a rattlesnake on the tee at 12. So I go running over to check it out, and turns out Tamale needs to work on his venomous snake identification. Total false alarm, rat snake, but this is actually a place where you can see a variety of venomous snakes here. We've seen coral snakes out here and copperheads, but elusive diamondback rattlesnake has yet to be spotted on the course today.
All right, well, Nate, we appreciate you keeping your eyes peeled and sprinting over to the 12th for us. Keep us posted. Henna inside the circle once again. Missy going to have a birdie putt from about 25 feet. Sten in for the par. Kristin, another birdie. She's now 3 under, and she's tied for 4th. Back-to-back champ here, trying to become the second player in DGPT history to go 3 wins in a row at a Pro Tour event over 3 years. Paige Pierce has done it 3 different times. It seems like Kristin just keeps finding new ways to set records. Rated. Jessica Weiss out in front by a pair of strokes. Take a look at her scorecard so far. Bogey free with 6 birdies. What a round she's got going.
Putting extremely well. 100% C1X, 50% C2. Jessica has a very strong sidearm, which is quite beneficial out here.
She had a 33-footer for birdie on the 4th. She just hit a 38-footer for birdie on the 12th. So Weiss having a day so far and looking in good position to end up on a lead card tomorrow.
Kristin misses the line on the right. This is the smallest hole in the course. Basket just off to the right.
Birdie putt for Gannon, and she's in. So she gets to 4 under, tied for second now. And that settles nicely. Great shot from Carey. Well, Henna's had a lot of opportunities for birdies. She's come up empty on the last couple of holes. From 12 feet, she's not gonna miss that one.
I didn't love the stroke, but I'm glad that it's in. She's still, you can see the tentativeness in the release that we didn't see at the very beginning of the round.
Cadence Burge sitting there 2 shots off the lead. Out of Huntsville, Alabama. Just won the City of Mobile Championships. She shot a 55 in the final round, 10.22 rated. Tricky shot here. Kristin tends to like to throw flat to fade and not these flexing shots.
Remember, the land falls away on the right-hand side.
And not a good release for Kristin, and she'll have a long uphill putt.
It's likely going to be obstructed as well.
Inside the circle for Sten. Second shot for Ella Hansen on the par 5 ninth just a moment ago. And so she's going to be looking for an eagle here on the 9th. Here is the putt happening right now. Hansen to get back under par. You bet. The eagle for Ella on the 9th. I talked to Ella a couple days ago, and she mentioned that 9 was very gettable eagle for her, and that she could do the same on 18 if the wind was right. And how about Kristin? Wow. That's her 3rd huge uphill putt make this round.
She didn't roll down the hill as much as I thought. That was open, but wow. Once again, so much power. Keep that on line going uphill.
So we go to the 16th, kind of a new look 16 with the OB change.
Considerably different.
How did the hole used to play, and what should viewers know about it now?
Well, it used to be just basically field work. You just throw it as far as you could towards the basket. Now, all of those shots would be out of bounds. Players are forced to throw towards the road, making it a much more dangerous shot because it could skip OB left, and of course, the landing zone is quite a bit smaller.
Sten for her par. So staying steady. Carey in for the birdie. So a couple of birdies and another big putt from Latt. Tight battle right now. We're going to go back to 16. .609-foot par 4. See that OB line on the right side cutting down the middle of the fairway.
That's a fine position. There's still going to be about 300 feet to the pin and a lot of out of bounds.
Let's take a look at hole number 9, par 5. It's our Zenny flyover.
It's a very challenging hole through a tunnel. You have both right and left and a ceiling created by the woods. You can play this as aggressively as you want. There's no shame in throwing a putter to just stay in the middle, but if you want to throw a fairway or even something a little bit faster to try to get down and skip past this dirt spot down to this opening here, so you're at the corner, then you can attack the green like we saw Ella just do. There's a pinch point here that about 125 feet from the pin. The basket is quite protected by these trees on the right-hand side that are just inside the circle, and the land falls away a little bit to the left. If you fade out left, you'll have an uphill putt. That was a really beneficial kick. She's still in the fairway. She's going to have to take the next shot curving around the corner.
Very early for Gannon. Still going to get to circle's edge. Scary look on the elevated basket. Kristin on the 9th.
Either right or left of that tree is fine, especially going as straight as that disc was, but definitely taking the eagle opportunity out of play for Kristin. She could still birdie from there. Exceptional. It's a very good position. She can attack from there.
Approach shot for Blomroos. Clockwork. I mean, it's easy to imagine that if her putting got to average on tour, that she would be winning multiple events per season. It's just remarkable to watch her throw.
She's still young. There's still a chance that she can get there. That was a nice rollback. She's in the opening. She'll have a somewhat open shot, especially for the forearm approach to the basket, which she likes.
Great overhead look from our Flight Factory drone. 79 degrees in Waco. We happy to have Flight Factory back as our drone sponsor for the entire 2025 season. While they don't sell drones, you can be sure to find all of your favorite discs, apparel, accessories, and more at flightfactorydiscs.com.
Not a
back
bad,
out in the fairway.
Yeah, it's not a bad position, kind of in that same opening that Kristin landed in.
Missy Gannon trying to knock this slightly outside of circle one birdie putt down to get within a shot of the lead. So close.
Right on line, just did not have the height.
Blomroos to tie the lead, and she's got it. So back in a tie at the top. And right now, Jessica Weiss putting for bogey on the 13th. So Blomroos is going to retake the lead. Colin Handley starting to make a push. 4 down through 14.
Pretty big pull on that. Did not hit the line at all that she was intending to. And I don't think it got a favorable kick either.
I've been surprised to see her as a lefty not throwing backhand on more of these shots. I wonder if she feels uncomfortable hitting gaps with the backhand relative to the forehand.
Perhaps. As I was thinking about it last night, I was just thinking how nicely this course sets up for a lefty backhand player.
Yeah, Waco often talked about as a forehand course.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of left to right shots.
At the beginning of this broadcast, you asked whether we needed to worry about rust. Well, Annika Sten comes from a very cold climate as well, so, you know, she might not have been outside playing too much before this stretch in America either.
Inside the bullseye. So Kristin looking for another birdie. Climbing the leaderboard. Jessica Weiss just took a bogey on 13, so she's now 1 shot back of Blomroos. And here she is on the 14th. Carey might have a putt, but be from outside the circle. Sten forced to just punch back out to the fairway after that tree kick. Still get up and down for a par here.
Very nice backhand approach. Absolutely nothing wrong with a par here, but might feel like a missed opportunity with that gorgeous drive.
Off the pole. Maybe a half run.
I think just a very accurate approach.
So Carey will be tapping in for par. We go to 17. Gannon. Gets the green flag.
That is
Fortunate.
Not an enviable place to be, though, to attack the green.
So after Weiss went out of bounds, she has a very long look for par. So finding some trouble late in the round. It'll be back-to-back bogeys for Weiss on 13 and 14. Second circle one miss of the day for Sten. Weatherman knocks it down. So she saves the par. Sten taps it in for bogey. She falls back to 1 over par, and it's a tap-in birdie for Kristin. She's now at 4 under and tied for second. 4 down through 9, one of the best marks we've seen so far today. And I mean, she's had some great moments. She's also made a couple mistakes.
She's saved herself with a lot of good putts, but yes, she's missed a few opportunities out there. Little surprised to see Owen so far down the scoreboard.
She's played very well here historically. A couple of prominent European names there at even par. Heidi Laine, Silva Saarinen. Paige Pierce, 3 over par today.
A couple former winners on that page, Paige and Valerie.
Second shot for Gannon. Did stay in bounds.
That's a very smart shot, not trying to bite off more than she can chew, just getting to those rocks. Now she has a flat, straight approach to the basket.
Kind of the one tree to miss there for Kristin, and she finds it. Is birdie still in play from there?
Depends on yes, I'm not going to say it's not. The right side is a little easier to get to the basket from than the left. And I believe there is a tree missing on this hole from previous years, opening up that right side a little bit as well.
Weatherman also finds tree on the right side.
There's a full flight.
It's just past those fairway trees. And one note on Kristin, I think some years we've seen her start here at Waco and her throws look a little off, forehand, having some struggles. Haven't seen that at all today. She's looked pretty sharp as Montgomery finds the water on 17. Back into the headwind here on 17 and 18. Here's Sheila May Lai throwing her second shot. What a beauty. Inside the circle. Take another look on the Zuka replay.
So much trust. Keeping that disc nice and flat.
Anytime I see this approach on 17, I think about Valerie Mondahano's iconic shot here when she won this event, 2022. Henna. That is beautiful. Blomroos, your leader, putting for birdie once again. She's been inside at least circle 2 with a birdie look on all but 2 holes today.
Decent line, a little bit low, didn't quite have enough power to get to the basket. Deanne sneaking it by that last tree, finding the circle.
I gotta find my range point.
To the 15th. Weiss. Trusting the stability. Good shot. Short of the OB fence area. Montgomery went out of bounds, so this is her 4th. Just outside the bullseye. Putting for a bogey. Well, it's very early in this 2025 season, JK, but What's standing out to you so far?
Well, Henna and Evelina have really come out of the gate strong. We're seeing Henna still struggle a little bit with the putting, but not to the extent that she has in previous years. Kristin doesn't look like she's lost anything over the off season, and I can't help but expect that she will have another record-breaking year. But also, there are so many young players coming up. Like we've seen Cadence now at a couple of events, top 10 last week, playing well today. Had that 10-20 rated round that you mentioned earlier. Just a lot of new talent just around the corner, and it's going to be an exciting year.
It's going to be an exciting year, and it feels like it's going to be kind of a year of Europe, given all of the events that are happening over there and para majors. First time the World Championships will be overseas. And I don't think it's any coincidence that you mentioned 3 European players right off the top. Kristin for a long-range birdie.
Had a chance.
Here's Weatherman. 2024 Rookie of the Year. Trying to find the range. Hasn't had a lot of easy birdie looks today. You talk about promising young players. I mean, Weatherman last year winning Des Moines Challenge was a sight to see, not just because of the skill, but the poise that she had to close it out down the stretch with some very strong veterans trying to chase her down.
Yeah, her turnover shot into the green of 18, just masterful.
Sten comes up short on the birdie look. Shelly May live for birdie after the beautiful upshot. And she's in. 4th birdie of the round for Lai. And Henna Blomroos also with a birdie look. Just inside the bullseye, trying to open up a 3-shot lead on the field. And she's in. So it's turkey for Henna Blomroos. And she's now at 7 under par. She'll head to 18, facing the headwind. Carey in for the birdie on 10. Just to put Henna's score in context right now, she's 56 through 17. The course record is 58. So unless she pulls off a miraculous tee shot over the water into the headwind, which I think is very unlikely, she's not going to set a course record, but it is a very good round.
If she had a tailwind on this hole, I would expect her to go for it. But today, I think she's just got to lay this up.
4 birdies today on 18. Second shot for Weiss. Again to the forehand, a little bit short.
Catches the right side a little bit. She's in the open. That's kind of what you want with a sidearm. It's a little bit off to the right-hand side, so it's able to skip up the hill. If you're straight at the basket, there are roots on the ground that they can really cause havoc with the disc. Now that's going to be, Emily's so far behind the basket that she's going to have a pretty dangerous putt coming back.
Back to 15, Jessica Weiss.
No chains necessary.
In for birdie. So she gets to 5 under. She's back in solo second, 2 shots off the lead. Take another look.
So she's outside the circle. Going to have to use that lower body to get enough power. You can see her jumping off. I hate to say it, but that is a late release on that jump putt.
Yes. Not legal.
By PDJ standards, the disc must be out of your hand before you leave the ground. You have to have a supporting point right behind the disc. Though this is too hard to tell by the naked eye, we can see with the aid of the camera that that's a little bit of a late release.
Still a great putt, and you know, I wonder if it's time for a rule change on jump putting because of the frame-by-frame nature. It's impossible to tell in real time whether those are legal or illegal.
Well, that's one reason why I admire Kristin so much, because she got a little bit of flack for this. Was it 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't realize that she was making the mistake. You couldn't, again, tell from the naked eye. And she went and retooled her putt completely so that there was no option that the way that she now throws, she definitely stays on the ground until she releases. So, yeah, if you can't enforce the rule with the naked eye, then perhaps there's something wrong with the rule.
Tough uphill putt coming for Sten. Carries 4 down through the last 6 holes. Trying to avoid her second bogey of the round. Needs to knock this down from distance. Unable to connect. She's now 0 for 6 from circle 2 today. Weatherman lays it up. Kristin trying to card her 5th birdie in the last 7 holes. You don't bet. Looked good, but out on the right side.
At least that's the side you want to miss on from that angle. If she'd missed on the left-hand side, it could have potentially rolled down that hill.
That was a lot of chains not to end up in the basket. Sten in for the bogey. So Carey trying to run that one earlier, ends up not making the comebacker. She's going to take a double bogey. Weiss on the 16th. Solid drive, keeping it low into the wind. Over the water for Henna on 18. And it is safe. So she'll have an uphill putt coming up on the other side of this break. Henna Blomroos, 2-shot lead here at Waco in round 1.
I've been really struggling with connection. Yes, connecting can be so difficult, especially in your case, as it's with an audience and not just one person.
Exactly.
Have you tried telling them about Infinite's inventory?
All the time. 100,000 discs.
Right.
Biggest online retailer.
Well, what if you told them something about yourself? Maybe a confession.
What do you mean?
Isn't it true that you faked the ace that you posted in that snow video recently?
I did, but what does that have to do with the whole connection? We got the confession. Lemonade, lemonade.
Hey, stop.
Get him.
What are you doing? Hey!
I love my jab.
Some of my favorite discs in my bag are the A-Series discs. They're the ones I lean on to get close to the basket. These are torque-resistant discs, provide a consistent fade at the end of the flight. The best way to find your flight is to get out and use these discs yourself.
My name is Jimmy Gutierrez. I'm the Dewey Community Center supervisor here, and I'm over after-school programming and summer camp programs. Yes, I'd like to thank the Waco Charity Open, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and the Community Connect Edge Grant.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
Disc golf isn't just a game, it's a lifestyle. And at Paragon Disc Golf, we are proud to be at the heart of it. As the official asset manufacturer for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, we are dedicated to creating the tools that drive the sport forward. From expertly printed apparel and custom jerseys to banners, signs, and event essentials, we help shape the professional and recreational disc golf experience. Paragon Disc Golf. We print disc golf.
Welcome back to the Disc Golf Network's live coverage of round number 1 at the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy. Henna Blomroos trying to close out the round with a birdie, and she's got it. 4 in a row to close it out. A 59, one off the course record, and Henna is your leader heading into the clubhouse. What a round.
Absolutely beautiful shot by Kristin around the corner, getting the skip way up the fairway.
Heard some branches on that shot from Weatherman.
That's going to be a tough second shot. She looks like she's well into those woods on the left-hand side.
might have kicked out to the edge of that rough. Go back to 16. Weiss, second shot. So she will have a very long look for the birdie. How about Henna Blomroos? Despite a 3-putt on the 13th and a couple of missed shorter circle 1 putts, she still comes in with an 8 under par. 1 shot off the hot round in difficult wind conditions. I mean, birdieing 17 and 18 today is impressive.
No small feat in the best of conditions.
Just 5 birdies today on 18 so far, and just 2 on the 17th. If you take a look at our graphic up there on the right-hand side, you can see that Deanne Carey tied for 10th in the tournament, and she's 33rd in the Pro Tour standings right now. New feature this year, so you can keep an eye on where players are overall on the season. So Weatherman finds the short rough on the left side. She's going to have to throw forehand from there. Weiss just lays up. She'll have that left for par.
Sten smartly just pitches out to the fairway. This is a par 5. Sten still has an opportunity to par here.
We haven't even gotten to Kristin's shot. You can see her disc up ahead in the middle of the fairway. Ideal spot.
That's rolling in the correct direction. That's a fine shot.
You will take that. So some progress, but finding a lot of the rough on the right and left sides.
Oh, that was a bullet. Hitting one of the last trees. Still a fantastic shot by Evelina.
Evelina currently tied for 3rd. So we finally get to Kristin's drive. Second shot on the par 5.
She is up on the plateau where the basket is. I'm imagining that's going to be a long look at an eagle.
So great position to get at least a birdie. Weatherman will switch discs. Going with something a little faster.
I think that was a good switch. That was a beautiful shot.
Well executed from a tricky position. She'll have a putt. So we catch up with Owen Scoggins. She's throwing her second shot. She's made a nice comeback today to 2 under. And she'll be inside the circle, putting to get to 3 down. Players competing this weekend, Owen has had the second best average score at the Beast over the last 8 rounds, behind Kristin.
Not that surprising. You know, it favors forehands. Owen, exceptional with her forehand, and of course, one of the best putters that we've ever seen.
She just became the 3rd FPO player to reach 990 rated all time, putting her in the company of Paige Pierce and Kristin Latt. And it's remarkable to see what Owen is doing and still getting better at her age. Oniken onto the green. So she'll be putting for par. To the 17th. Tough par 4. She sticks a forehand out into the landing zone. So we go back over to the 12th. Kristin with an eagle look. She's already hit a couple of putts from this distance today. Not happy with the effort.
Have to settle for a drop-in par on one of the hardest holes in the course.
Make it a birdie.
Oh, right. Of course.
Very well played hole from Kristin, but wanted to get the extra stroke. Weatherman off the basket. Evelina for a birdie. Not there, so she'll have a short putt left for par. Salonen won this tournament back in 2020. Tournament just 2 rounds there. COVID shutting down the final round here at Waco almost 5 years ago today. I think Thursday marked the actual 5th anniversary of that decision to shut down the final round. And how about this make? Kind of sneaking it around there on the ante. Sten in for par. Weatherman gets the par as well, and Kristin for a birdie to get into a tie for second and 3 shots back of Blumroos. She's in. So Kristin continuing to play well here in the woods. Bogey free since hole 4. Now 5 birdies in that stretch. To the 13th. Ohn Scoggins putting for birdie. And she's in. That gets her to 3 under. She's in 5th place. And I beg your pardon, Evelina actually ended up out of bounds. So the putt earlier was for par, and this for bogey. No. What happened? I mean, she's laughing. She seems surprised that it didn't stay in. It's going to be a double bogey for Salonen. It's pretty high.
It was high with that wind. That's very dangerous.
Ouch. So Salonen had been bogey free since hole 1. And it really started to climb the leaderboard, but a double bogey drops her back to 2 under into a tie for 6th. Just a little bit unfocused considering the wind conditions. Second shot for Weiss. Nicely done. Gets the green flag.
Just shows you how beneficial a really confident sidearm can be on that particular hole.
Well, it's a gorgeous day in Waco, Texas. Henna Blumroos laid down an 8 under, 1 shot off the course record. Kristin trying to chase her down. Round 1 continues.
Hello, I'm Silva Saarinen with Team MVP. This is my 2025 Team Series proxy. This stamp is personal to me because I took these pictures by myself last summer. This is the new Particle Glow Proton Plastic. It feels great in my hand and it looks awesome at night. I'm Silva Saarinen with Team MVP and thank you for the support.
Well, today's the day. You can save on a yearly DGN subscription through this weekend with code SAVE3months if you buy an annual subscription to either DGN Standard or to get all the action and the bonuses DGN Pro. This is the best deal that you're going to get all year, so don't hesitate. Scan the QR code or go to discgolfnetwork.com. Use code SAVE3months and get an extra month off of your annual subscription. And of course, if you're a PDGA member, you also get discounts, so check that out as well. Appreciate you being with us on the JomezPro YouTube channel today. If you're wondering, there will still be your standard post-pro coverage on Jomez coming out tomorrow. Owen Scoggins, edge of the circle.
Late tree kick, which isn't a problem with the distance, but she ended up behind that tree, which would be a little bit more challenging for her approach.
And Owen in for the birdie. Giving a little bow to the crowd. Does anyone have more fun on the disc golf course?
Certainly not in the women's division. Beautiful lefty route for Anakin.
Helpful skip there for Carey. A little short, but in the open. Weiss for birdie on 17. And she's in. So she's at 6 under par now, 2 shots off the lead. What a second shot from Weiss to get to that spot. Blind shot there from Weiss. Evelina unable to convert the putt. She has a par coming back. Carey, second shot on 13.
Little short, left with maybe a 40-footer.
Par putt for Salonen.
I think the short miss on the previous hole has sort of flipped the switch on the mental troubles. See how quickly she can get over this.
Sometimes seems she tries to be overconfident when she's not feeling confident, and you see a high miss like that, and then a splash out left, and it's all going wrong for Evelina. She's got a double bogey comebacker. It seems like it's the little things for Salonen, because she had been putting great all around. Even hit a 41-footer on the 10th for birdie. But then the tiny miss, just a little bit unfocused on 13, leads to the 3-putt on 14 and back-to-back double bogeys.
Missed her line. You could tell she didn't like it as soon as she let go.
Nate, now that the feature card here is back out of the woods, how are the wind conditions as they play in the opposite direction from how they started the round. Unfortunately, we don't have Nate right now, so we'll check back with him in a moment. Seems a little bit less windy than when we saw them start this round.
It certainly does. Well, I mean, when we started, you could just hear the wind in the microphones.
Checking in with Holland Handley on the 18th. Holland went out of bounds on her tee shot. So she'll have a bogey putt from the edge of the circle. So look at our top 10 right now. Cadence Birch ending up at 2 down on the day. Feels like we could maybe be seeing the start of a breakout season for Cadence. Off the cage for Deanne. Just hit from 37 feet on the 12th. But not this time, so she will tap in for par. Weatherman in for birdie. Kristin taps it in for yet another birdie. She continues to climb the leaderboard. She's tied for second, 2 shots back of Blomroos. 5 holes to play. So Kristin looking sharp to begin her 2025 Pro Tour campaign. So we go back to 18, Handley for bogey. Great make to close out the round. Holland Handley 3 under on the day, puts together a 64. She's in 5th place. Evelina on the 15th after back-to-back double bogeys.
Oh,
boy.
Saves it. The barely. I think she hit that stake to stay safe.
It looked like something kept it from continuing forward.
I was just thinking that in this field, there aren't many people that even have to worry about that OB, but Evelina is one of them, having enough distance to get that far.
Weiss puts it in the middle of the fairway. Scoggins' second shot. Routine. It really doesn't feel like that added OB changes this hole dramatically.
Not for the women. The women are trying to lay up, well, I mean, they're throwing hard shots, just trying to keep it in bounds. And as I mentioned earlier, not many women have enough power to get to that out of bounds. That might have been an okay kick. That had a lot of speed. It's possible that it could have skipped out of bounds on the road on the right-hand side had it not hit that tree.
Edge of the circle.
It's probably about the edge of the circle as well. This is another hole where there's a tree missing on the right-hand side that's not completely obvious, but does open it up a little bit more.
I was talking to the TD, Ryan Draper, who said that about a week before the tournament, there was a 50-mile-per-hour windstorm with 70-mile-per-hour gusts that really did a number. And they've been cleaning up the course over the last week to get it ready. And so I wonder if there were some key branches or even trees that came down.
I did see people clearing branches when I was there, and I was impressed by that.
Taking a look at this Evelina Salonen drive one more time. And yeah, that's Stake. Stake saved that from going out of bounds. I think you should get a half stroke or something for hitting the stake.
Well, that's in the dangerous area after the last couple of holes now. Nasty roll away after hitting the rim.
Kristin trying to make it 3 in a row and hit another circle 2 putt. Didn't miss by much. Not quite enough power for Kristin. She'll settle for par as Ella Hansen sticks the birdie on the 15th. Wild scorecard today for Hansen. And remember how close she came to winning this tournament a couple years ago. She was in commanding position in the final round and saw the nerves for a player who at that point had not yet won on tour.
Yeah, had some very unnecessary out of bounds. The first being on the next hole that she's going to play.
Sten Rollaway punishes her and she can't convert the par save. Disappointing miss there for Carey. Weatherman in for par. She's tied for 21st. So all tap-ins and pars for Carey and Latt. Evelina test her birdie range after some difficult holes, and this time she sticks it. And that really has been the difference over the last year, is that she can bounce back and start making putts from that range again after some adversity. How about Owen? She's starting to put together quite the round. 7 birdies in the last 8 holes, and she's all the way up into 4th place. She's been in the birdie zone. Let's take a look at it here, presented by Birdie Pro on the 15th.
Pretty much anything inbounds is going to be in the birdie zone on this hole because it's not that far, 560 feet for a par 4. Anything in that yellow gives the women an opportunity to put it under the basket on their second shot. The real difficulty here is playing in the wind and the skinny fairway.
Birdie Pro, build your player, use your skills, and roll to victory. Get your copy of the best-selling disc golf board game at bodabrothers.com. And during Waco, they're offering free shipping anywhere in the U.S. Just fine for Kristin. Kristin has a share of the course record here. She shot a 58 in 2023 during round 1. And it's within striking distance today. If she can keep it up. I'd almost like to see them change this FPO tee-pad location to make the first shot more of a choice.
So you'd
At
move it up a little
MPO,
bit so that they have an opportunity to go for it if they, it would make it more interesting.
Because as it stands, this hole is a decision for MPO whether to lay up short or try to run it and get the 2, but it's not really an option for FPO from this location. We go to the 18th. Jessica Weiss trying to close out an excellent round. Difficult shot over the water with the headwind. And settles. Beautiful shot. Jessica Weiss has been on fire today. She'll have a birdie look inside 20 feet to try to pull within a stroke of Henna Blomroos. Great view of the shape of the hole. Excellent execution from Weatherman. Well, I want to go down to Nate Perkins here and check in once again about wind conditions right now. How are things compared to the start of the round, Nate?
You know, it's actually significantly calmer right now, and the wind is kind of shifted. It's coming more from the south than it was this morning. So it's a little bit more of a left to right than the straight tail that we expected right now. The wind is still going to be pretty difficult to get across on 18 and to get in position on 17.
Great stuff, Nate. Thank you. On the 16th, Hansen second.
Excellent shot, right towards the basket. Keeping it low.
Carrie's saying what's up to some fans. So Sten will have a putt. Going to have a chance here for our first star frame for our top feature card. Evelina's second on the 16th. And everybody playing smooth into 16. Now 15 is one of the holes they changed basically completely last year, and now they're back in the original layout with the added OB. But I think what's interesting about Waco is that among courses on tour, it probably has changed the least since 2017 relative to many other courses which maybe look completely different than they did back then.
That's a good point. It is a historic course, and it's not trying to outdo everyone else by being the longest, the hardest. It relies on the technicality and the wind to bring the difficulty.
Not close there from Carey. Bit of a head cross here for Kristin. Not easy wind conditions for this putt. For another birdie. So now putting with the opposite wind. Right to left wind here. About a 25-footer for Kristin for the par. Great correction. So she'll remain at 6 under. Carey off the band. So very low, very high, and bogey for Carey. She falls back to even par. 16th, second shot for Scoggins. It was just 3 off the lead. And out of bounds. Back to 18, Jessica Weiss to get within a shot of the lead with a birdie here on 18. Got it! Jessica Weiss closing out a fantastic round. She puts down a 60. Likely going to be on the lead card tomorrow. She's 1 shot back of Henna Blomroos. Wrap up round 1 coming right after this.
This generation is elevating it. The most dominant team in disc golf history just got deeper. World champions, record breakers, the future of the game, united under one banner. This isn't just competition, it's a legacy in motion. This is the next chapter. Discraft, built for flight.
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TriMet Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TriMetGroup.com.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Go, Gotta Throw your disc golf warehouse. With a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, shirts, and more. GottaGo.com has all the tools to take your game to the next level. Shop online or our Golden Valley, Minnesota store. Free shipping with all online orders over $75. Online or in-store, get what you need for the game you love. GottaGo.com, your disc golf warehouse. In the game since 1993.
Disc Golf Network live coverage continues, and it is crunch time, and that means commercial-free action coming your way for the final 3 holes, brought to you by our friends at 1010 Discs. Players walking down the fairway. Want to check back in with Nate Perkins. Nate, how do you feel like the players have handled the conditions today? And, what's in store for us later this weekend?
Yeah, today's supposed to be the windiest day of the week, but if you take a look at the wind radar tomorrow, it's still saying it's gusting upwards of 35 miles per hour. So I don't think the players are in the clear just yet. But I feel like this FPO division has handled it great. They scored in the woods, and if they can close here on these last few holes, they'll be in a good spot for tomorrow.
Some really nice rounds put down. Chance for more here at the end, especially for Kristin. She's got an opportunity, if she can birdie out, to set or to check that tie the course record. Disappointed with the distance that she got on that shot.
This hole, along with many others on this course, at least the ones out in the open, plays considerably different depending on the wind direction. So with a tailwind, this isn't that intimidating, but with a headwind and the new OB on this hole, this is very hard to get close to the basket onto. She is safe. Anakin's probably 95 feet from the pin, though.
Precise shot. Gets a little bit of an unfortunate roll out to the edge of the circle. But Kristin will have a birdie look. Let's check in with Paige Pierce. Over on the 17th. Sitting at 4 over today. She's won this event twice. Back in 2017 and 2018, and she puts it almost to the bullseye. Beautiful shot.
Reminiscent again of Valerie Monahondo's shot from years back, the year that she won this event.
Just a really nice flip up, holds that straight line all the way to circle 1. She would go on to convert that birdie putt. See the big number there on 11, really the painful error for today's round. If she can clean up the quad and double bogeys tomorrow, could put together a very nice score. Paige Pierce, the only player on tour that's won back-to-back-to-back years at a Pro Tour event, and she's done it 3 separate times. Kristin trying to join the ranks after winning this event the last 2 years. Players pitching up. Considering all the winning that Kristin has done over the last few years, in some ways it's quite surprising that she hasn't three-peated yet.
I'm going to be surprised at the end of this year if she doesn't have multiple three-peats.
Great point. 2023, a remarkable season. You see the wind picking up here. Stabling up here with her putter for birdie. Nate, I want to check in with you real quick. You know, we saw a very similar situation for Kristin a moment ago, the higher wind putts, and saw her make a putter switch there. What do you think she's trying to do?
Yeah, it looks like she went to the approach disc for that putt, and now she has a similar look to the last hole, maybe a step closer, but it's just ripping right to left right now.
Again, Kristin makes the comebacker. So she will remain at 6 under par. She's 2 shots back of Henna. Pretty much a straight headwind here for Sten. Good concentration. She knocks it down.
Did a really good job getting out of her head. You could see that she was tense about that shot.
Weatherman in for par. Almost spit back out on Deanne, but stayed in. So par for Carey. Scoggins trying to find a spot on tomorrow's lead card. And a big skip. Fortunate there for Owen on the 17th.
Hole 17th, signature hole for this course, almost a horseshoe shape. It's a little bit uphill for the drive. You want to get far enough forward that you can see around the corner, unless you have a really strong forehand shot that we saw from Jessica Weiss. Then you can throw from a little bit shy of the corner, forces you to throw out over the water and then bring it back into safety. Any way that you attack this, the second shot is going to be a challenge. This is a very tight fairway, very narrow. It also goes back downhill. It's hard to tell how the wind's going to affect it because it's so different in different parts of this particular fairway. So much going on. Really interesting. Hole 17.
That whole flyover presented by Zenni. Eyewear for everyone. Huge forehand for Evelina way out over the river. Oh, and a nasty roll back and red flag. Oh, terrible break for
So
Salonen.
unfortunate. That was such a great shot. Just got the backward roll. Wouldn't expect that either. You would expect that to skip forward.
Man, that is brutal. I feel like 9 times out of 10, that's under the basket. Hansen going lower.
Saved by the trees. Looks like she's still in bounds.
Yeah, very short. Maybe didn't quite trust putting it out over the water. Own. Edge of the circle. So some nice scoring spread in the top 10. Even par today, coming in rated 959 at the moment. That was just a moment ago. Hansen up shot. Now we go live to the green. Scoggins putting for her birdie. Got it. Own Scoggins gets to 5 under. She's in solo 4th. And after a slow start for Scoggins, where she didn't get a birdie in the first 7 holes, since then she's gotten 8. Salonen for par. Nice save. Despite the pair of double bogeys, Evelina still 2 under par, very much in this tournament. Hansen for par. So Hansen sitting in solo 5th at 4 down.
Not surprising to have a little bit of a backup on hole 17. This is typically one of the holes that you have to wait on.
Surprised they're still waiting at this point, considering that we just watched the chase card putt out. Take a look there at Kristin with her now husband, Silver Latt, wearing the caddy bib today, as he often does. And last summer, they got married, and this looks like it's out of a movie, Juliana.
Such a professional quality.
And this, of course, happened in the middle of the season.
Yeah, exactly. This was during the European swing, basically, just a little bit after it.
Such a cool moment for them, and Congratulations to them both. Kristin Tatar, now silver, pardon me, is now Kristin Latt. It's an adjustment for all of us. KL, not KT. But one KL still rolls off the tongue, I think. What's the ideal place to put this first shot?
I really like being where those two trees in the middle are just past them, but boy, it is dangerous to try to get on the other side of them because it drops back down towards a road, an OB road.
That's fading out. Just did not get the right angle out of her hand.
Nose up on that one, so it finished hard left.
We go to 18th. Owen Scoggins getting set to tee off, and Nate, we know it's a headwind here today on 18. What's it feeling like out there for the players?
Yeah, it's head. It's also coming off the river as a right to left, so it makes that layup short of the pond pretty difficult. Got to get the nose angle perfect. I've been standing here for the last couple cards, and it is really easy to find the OB left or to straighten it out into that crosswind and end up in the middle of the pond.
Just an iconic pair of finishing holes on tour, 17-18 here at the Beast. Paige Pierce trying to close out her round with a birdie. And does just that. So Pierce moves to 2 over par. She's tied for 25th.
Emily too far back to be aggressive on this shot. She's just trying to lay up to those rocks. She's got about a 240-foot shot from there.
So Carey still work to do to get to the green after going OB off the tee shot. Trouble.
She stays safe. Looked like she didn't trust going out over the water there.
Over the water shot for Owen. And it fights to the circle's edge, and fans love it. Found some friends, Cat Merch, Leah Sinagini, saying hello to Owen. Kat Murch finished her day 1 under. Leah Sinigini 7 over par today. It's definitely a window here, but standstill shot for Kristin. Can she get the power to get to the basket?
I think she's going to have to flex it if she wants to get enough power.
Ends up going past the basket. I mean, a lot of power from that position.
She does the most important part, and that is it's inbounds and it's near the pin. A little bit of a longer putt, but she's been very good inside of circle 2 today.
Second shot for Salonen, and buzzing the tower. She's on the green. Evelina a chance to close up with a birdie. Going to do a tie for 6 with Handley at 3 under. Hansen, second shot. It's going a little bit deep. The psychology of the river on the left side, even if it doesn't really make the shot more difficult, certainly does from a mental standpoint.
It absolutely gets in your head.
I'm still thinking about that. Jessica Weiss forehand. I mean, you have to be willing to throw it out over that left side. Weatherman's going to go backhand.
Too low. Hard to trust it, hard to get it up in the air. You're worried that the wind's going to take it, that it's going to fade out.
Hansen not going to risk it. She will settle for a par. And after starting her day with a double bogey and a pair of bogeys, leaving her 4 over through 4 holes, she ends up finishing 4 under on the round. Great comeback. Got the eagle on 9. Owen in for the birdie. She's tied for 3rd at 6 under with Kristin. Tough spit out there for Evelina.
From this angle, you couldn't tell that it was offline.
Chantel Badinsky trying to finish her day with a birdie. And she's got it. So 3rd birdie of the round for Badinsky. She's 2 over on the day. So Kristin just outside the circle. 34-footer for birdie. She's got 2 circle 2 makes today. Dead center. Wow. Perfect putt from Kristin. And she is 7 under par, tied for 2nd. Just another beautiful effort from circle 2.
That's an interesting word because it looks effortless.
Yes, it certainly does. Feels like one of her superpowers, just that straddle putt from 35 to 45 feet. Feels like she makes those at a higher clip than anybody besides maybe Owen Scoggins. Well, there's a look at our leaderboard. We've got a chance to catch up with our own Nate Perkins, who's in the clubhouse with Henna after her fantastic 8-under effort today.
We are here in the clubhouse with Henna after a blistering 8-under par. Talk to us about the round. How did it feel?
I was pretty relaxed and I enjoyed every shot and I tried to not think too much and just play. And
well, a little bit of audio issues there with that interview. See if we can get those worked out. But why don't we just throw it down to Nate on the course to let us know, what did Henna have to say to you today after that round?
Yeah, she was really collected. I don't think she was even too impressed with her score. She really just, felt like she was having a good time out there and not stressing too much over where she was putting her discs. And she felt like an 8-under par is definitely repeatable, especially because today was supposed to be the windiest day of the week. So she's looking good.
Yeah, it was an excellent round today. Last year, the best round at the Beast was Kristin's second round out here. It was a 59. That's what Henna shot today. It was a par 66 last year because of the change on the 15th. Playing as par 67 here in 2025. So here we go. 18th hole for our final card on the course. Kristin trying to match Henna at 8-under. But did that find the sidewalk? Nate, did that stay safe over on that left side?
Can't quite tell from the tee, but she's got some claps from the crowd that's sitting over there, so I believe she's safe.
Nice little trickle roll. Shorten up that second shot somewhat. Seen some real drama here on this hole. Simon clear in this one with a putter. Of course, Paul McBeth shooting an 18-under here a few years back, forcing them to change the par on a bunch of holes. We'll certainly get to take a look at some of those moments later today in the MPO coverage. Just a little scoreboard check-in if you haven't been paying attention on the MPO side. Calvin Heimberg right now, 13 under through 16 holes. Just birdied 13 and 14, got an eagle on 15, and birdied 16. So special stuff from Calvin. Take a quick look while we wait for the players to get to their lie. Clay Edwards, 12 down as well. So we could see some pretty awesome shooting out in MPO today. But Calvin continuing where he left off at Supreme Flight after that incredible final round he put together. So back with our FPO feature card. Closing out this first round, Sten. Nicely done, right to the bullseye.
Actually, that's the C1 marker.
I beg your pardon.
What do you call that?
So we're seeing the wind really swirling, Nate. What's Kristin looking at here for her second?
Yeah, you can just feel it swirling right now by the pond. She's more of a right to left wind right now, and that's going to push her to go to the forehand to go against that wind.
Fantastic from Kristin. Chance to make that birdie putt and get into a tie with Henna Blumroos at the top of the leaderboard. Nice shot there from Carey. The best shot of the bunch from Weatherman. Excellent control. She'll have a tap-in birdie. I think we're going to be in for a treat the rest of this weekend, Juliana, because this is the worst of the wind. And looks like we're going to see a pair of 8-unders. That's just one shot off the course record.
Yeah, after watching the two feature cards play in the Open to start, I would not have guessed that we would have scores this low.
Right. I mean, a very difficult opening holes with the wind. But I'm going to call it right now. I think we're going to see a new course record by the end of the weekend. Someone's going to shoot a 10-under. I think I'd bet on Kristin, but that's an easy call, I think.
Yeah. It'll cool off, right? Yeah, a little bit.
It's decision time for Sten.
We just saw Ella lay up from here.
She thought about it for a second, but not going to run it. Latt for birdie to get a share of the lead heading into the weekend. Seen a couple of those today. Some of the best putts you'll see from Kristin today. And a few of those mistakes that tend to crop up. The short putt from 15 to 25 feet. Carey. In. She closes out her round at 1 over par. So that will do it here for round number 1. Hannah Blomroos is your leader after 18 holes here at Waco as we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Thanks for being with us today. We've got more coming up in Tournament Central, but really quick. Juliana, Hannah Blomroos, 8 under, despite some putting problems. Kristin looking quite sharp for much of that round. What's your big takeaway here from day 1?
I can't wait to see them playing together. Hannah, great scoring, but we saw a lot of lowlights with the putting as well, so she's got a lot of more room to improve. And Kristin played extremely strong. We saw a couple misses there as well, but she looks like she's in mid-season form already.
Yeah, a lot sharper than we've seen her at the start of the season in the past couple years. So more to come. We will break everything down in Tournament Central. It's coming up in just a moment. Hannah Blomroos, your leader after round 1 here at the Waco Annual Charity Open.
Shopping online should be easy. That's why we built the best experience possible. Easy navigation, powerful filters, and lightning fast shipping, all at the best prices. 1010 Discs, reimagining excellence.
Bomb Discs is Kentucky's disc golf headquarters. If you're ever in town, you gotta come and check us out. But until then, you can find us online at bombdisc.com.
Describe your relationship with disc golf.
I don't have a relationship with disc golf.
You're telling me you have no relationship with disc golf?
I do not recall.
Somewhere in a random hotel in North America.
Can we even compete against this?
I wouldn't waste all your focus now, rookie.
Some days they just fall in.
It's a test of strategy, timing, and karma. Do you have what it takes? Order your game today.
Great news! Uplay and the PDGA share a mission to provide education and support for healthier lifestyles through the sport of disc golf. By joining the PDGA, your membership dollars are directly at work for these amazing programs, introducing and producing disc golf players all over the world. Support our programs by joining the PDGA or donating here.
Welcome inside Tournament Central. Charlie Eisenhood, Juliana Korver with you. Round 1 of Waco in the books. Henna Blomroos is your leader at 8 under par. Tied in second place, Jessica Weiss and Kristin Latt. We're going to go down right now to the clubhouse. Kristin Latt is standing by with Nate Perkins. Nate, take it away.
And we're here in the clubhouse with Kristin Latt. Kristin, first round back on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, back in the United States. How'd you feel out there?
It was definitely a little bit weird being back in the competition circuit. I didn't remember what it felt like. I didn't even remember at what time I had to be on the tee pad. Was it 5 minutes early or 10 minutes early? So I had to remind myself these things that used to come automatically. But yeah, I'm just happy to be back here. I tried to stay very calm, forgiving, because I know stuff can happen on the course, especially when it's your first round. So I just tried to maintain the confidence and keep on going.
Well, from the outside looking in, it didn't look like there was too much rust to shake off, but what did it feel like within?
I felt like, I told myself I needed to focus on the shots, because this is your moment where you can actually do the shot. You cannot fix it and go back in time. But I felt like on the shorter putts, I didn't really focus as much. But on the longer putts, I felt like I had a different kind of focus, and I hit some pretty good ones. But on the shorter putts, I was just randomly throwing and missing them. So I'm trying to clean up these putts for tomorrow.
And can you kind of talk about how the wind played a role in the difficulty of today's round?
It wasn't actually too bad. I feel like we've had worse weather here, but I was definitely prepared for the wind today. But yeah, overall I did not feel that much affected by it. There were a couple of putts late in the round where it was a little bit disturbing to have that side wind, but other than that it was fine.
Well, Kristin, thank you for your time, and we'll see you tomorrow on the lead card.
Yeah, see you there.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from Kristin's round today, and there were plenty. She led the field in avoiding bogeys, just had one, and from Circle 2, she was fantastic.
She was 50% from Circle 2. In fact, she was better from Circle 2 than she was from Circle 1 today.
Wild. Yeah, we saw a couple of those short misses, just heard her talk about trying to clean that up tomorrow. Said she felt random, the mistakes. And when she had the opportunity to throw the forehand, it looked very good today. Great approach there on 7. With OB behind, no problem on 17. Fantastic putt. That was her final birdie of the round. So Kristin able to put together a 7 under par, shooting a 60. And I mean, besides the couple of those little putting mistakes and the errant approach shot, she really didn't make a lot of errors. So strong day overall from Kristin, but a little bit better from Henna. We'll stay with Kristin for now. If she cleans up the putting, which you imagine she will, what is she capable of shooting out here, especially if conditions improve a little bit over the weekend?
Well, I mean, you called it. You're calling for
setting you up.
A 10 under, and she definitely has the capability of doing that. She hit 18 of 20, because on the par 5s, there are 2 shots that they consider fairway hits. So, I mean, she was almost perfect on the fairways on all these tunnel shots, which is really amazing.
Key to success out here at Waco, it feels like. Henna, 8 under, really strong overall day, and that was despite some putting issues. She had some good moments too. We saw early and late she hit some nice putts, 18 particularly. What did you make of what you saw from her today?
Well, how many people have the ability to come out with the lead and also 3-putt during the round?
Yeah, I mean it's Henna. Like it's Henna and Evelina that do something like that. Just 1 3-putt overall. She did miss a couple more Circle 1 putts. She went 0 for 4 from Circle 2, so putting certainly not his strength, but it wasn't a disaster.
No,
today.
not at all. Not at all. I don't mean this as a negative. I mean this as I'm so impressed by the fact that she can do this so often, and she didn't have to putt as often as other people because she can put it right under the basket.
Yeah, just absolutely fantastic. 72% Circle 1 in regulation to lead the field, and 89% Circle 2 in regulation, also number 1 in that category, ahead of Kristin in there.
And she finished with a nice putt on hole 18, so that's a really good way to walk off the course with hopefully a little bit of confidence around the green, just like the confidence she has from the tee.
So 3-pack of birdies early, and then in the middle of the round, and then a 4-pack to close it out. Altogether, it adds up to a 59. 1 shot off the course record. So great stuff from Henna. We also saw some really nice shooting from Jessica Weiss and Owen Scoggins as well, who made a nice comeback after a slow start.
Well, remember, in the very beginning of the round, we commented that it was a slow start for Owen because she was 2 under after 7 holes, and we expected her to be going very strong in the woods, but she actually turned it on once we got back out in the open, where it was maybe more of the long-distance throwers game, and that's where she turned it on. So if she can do it out there, we know she can do it in the woods. So if she puts the both together, then she could have a double-digit under par round as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players we've seen shoot well here in the past, shot well here today. So Ella's, well within striking distance. Holland, Evelina. I mean, in some ways it feels like Jessica Weiss is the surprise today, but the way she was throwing it, it doesn't feel surprising at all.
On paper, it's not surprising because she has such a good sidearm, and she's also a strong backhand player. So if her putt is on point, then there's no reason why she can't throw very well out here.
Well, in just a moment, we're going to take a look at our OTB shot of the day, but we got a little bonus for you. We're going to go out to the course right now. MPO, first card of the day, Calvin Heimberg is on a heater. Now, I will tell you, he got a bogey on 17, so that put to bed any hopes of him, maybe putting together a course record. That was definitely in the cards. So let's see what he's got on 18. He's sitting 12 under through 17 holes, going over, and he's a little deep of the pin, but he's safe. So that was a moment ago, live to his putt here for birdie to get to 13 under par. And no dice. And you heard him say it, he goes out of bounds. So similar to what happened at the end of Supreme Flight in that final round where he was putting together a masterful round. He took some lumps late. I think it was on 17, and it happens again here, but still a great mark, 11 under. He's actually in second right now because Clay Edwards, who's also on an early card, is 12 down through 17. He is headed to 18, and we'll see what he can do there. But exciting stuff. MPO coverage coming your way later today. First, though, OTB shot of the day. FPO, what do you think?
Either Jessica's approach on 17.
Great call.
Or Kristin's drive on 12.
I was going to say one of Kristin's Circle 2 putts. So let's take a look. Roll it. OTB shot of the day. We're going to get a little approach shot from Henna on 17, and why not? This was a beauty, but this wasn't better than Jessica's, right?
It wasn't better than Jessica's, but I don't mind giving Henna the nod, being that she is currently our leader.
Very fair. Mid-range, well controlled, didn't run into some of the problems we saw with other players getting a little concerned about the water on the left. So round 1 in the books for FPO. Coverage continues this afternoon with MPO. Coverage beginning 3:15 p.m. Central Time, 4:15 Eastern. That's a little under 2 hours from right now. We'll kick things off with Tournament Central with myself and Brian Earhart. Nate Perkins will join us as well. And we'll see what happens out there. Some very hot scoring early in MPO. Henna out in front after round number 1. Can she snag a win on the Disc Golf Pro Tour with some of the heavy hitters on her heels? We'll find out this weekend. Juliana Corver, I'm Charlie Eisenhood signing off for FPO. We'll see you back here in a couple hours for MPO. Thanks for watching from wherever you're joining us. Hello to everybody watching on the JomezPro YouTube channel. We'll see you in a couple hours.